Hey guys, Father Anderson here, rector of St. Alban's Anglican Church in Joppa, Maryland. I want to tell you about our building project. We are raising $150,000 to start the first phase of our two-phase exterior and interior building project here at the church to add parking, stormwater management, better sidewalks, and expand the inside of the church and the parish hall. Now, I had hoped to start outside today because that's actually where the project is going to begin, but it's a very bright and sunny day here in bucolic Harford County, Maryland, and that really messes up with a picture. So I'm going to start indoors today, and then hopefully Friday I can get outside and show you the grounds and explain what's going on out there. So let's get going. I actually am going to start outdoors. This is where we are going to have a brand new entrance to the church. There you see our driveway, our parking lot, the walkways. One of the problems here at the church is that it's just difficult to get into, especially if you're older. So let's take a look and see how people kind of come into the church. You come in here and you're met with this wall. I'm literally standing as far back as I can. To my right is the basement, unusable space currently. And to the left is the stairway up to the parish hall in the church. So if you're disabled or have bad knees, this is really hard to navigate. And it's just not a welcome entrance. So that's why we are, despite the lovely sign that my secretary made, so we're going to have a whole new entrance that I will tell you about. Coming up the stairs, we enter into what I call the reception area. Here is where we have coffee hour, receptions for any number of events, very small space. This was added to the church in 1990, I want to say, under our first rector, Father Jack Cupper. Continuing through the reception area, we have what I call the parish hall. Actually, the whole thing is a parish hall. It's divided by this wall, this support wall that has a pocket door. And here's where we have educational activities, community groups that meet, and so forth. Just a general purpose space. And at the very back here, we have the office. There's just one office, and the vestry, which is very small. This is the other way that you can get into the church or the parish hall, up these old steps. They are very beat up, as you can see. But again, it's coming up steps, and it's very difficult for people to navigate. In the back of the parish hall here, we have a very ancient handicap ramp. You can see it needs a lot of work. So this is all going to be redone as part of our building project. And I will tell you more about what's going on out here when we get to the outside portion later this week. The vestry, as you can see, is very, very small. Heading back to the reception area of the parish hall, we will now go and look at the church. This is the entrance to the church from the inside of the building. As you can see, there is a step here. This building that is the church is actually a 1920s two-room schoolhouse that was given to St. Albans by our neighbors across the street and moved to our property when we started the church. And for a number of years, this was the only building that we had. The last two areas that I showed you were subsequent additions put on in the 1990s. So going into the church, we have to our right two restrooms. And to the left, the kitchen. Here I am in the church looking out to the kitchen and restroom area and to the reception area of the parish hall. Now, I will say that this setup although inconvenient at times, does have its advantages. Namely, when you exit the church, you are pretty much forced to attend our coffee hour and after church reception. It's very hard for people to sneak out of St. Albans after services and not be welcomed by wonderful, friendly parishioners. Now, one of the problems that we have here with the bathrooms and the kitchen is that it creates a traffic jam in this area when you're getting ready for services and makes a lot of noise when services are going on. So we want to move the bathrooms and kitchens to another part of the building and have an addition. I'll tell you about that in a couple of minutes. And here we are going into the nave of the church. I just refilled the sanctuary lamp with oil, which is why it's swaying just a bit. So this is a 1920s two-room schoolhouse that we repurposed and turned into a church. As you can see, we don't seat that many people. When people are shoulder to shoulder here in the pews for a special service, we can cram maybe 65 into this place. And that's also with chairs on the end. But as you can imagine, that is not ideal. And we certainly don't have parking to establish, to seat all of those people. This is the original entrance to the church and the schoolhouse. As you can see, it has that drop ceiling put into it. There was the door. We will see that from the outside in our later videos. And if I turn around, you see that there was one door and then the other door for the two-room schoolhouse. And if you go back into the church, you can see on the ceiling, and there's a special name for this kind of ceiling, I forget what it is. You can see kind of a ghost image on the ceiling there. That's where there was a wall that divided the church or the schoolhouse into two sections. Now, when this was turned into a church, they installed this wall in the last third of the building to build the kitchen and bathrooms in. But we are going to take that wall out and expand the nave and turn all of that area into additional seating. That's the wall that is going to come out. And if you see just beyond the wall, that black mark on the floor, that's where the original schoolhouse building ends. So all of that is going to come out and be turned into the church. We are going to take out this old floor and restore the original floors underneath. That's where our organist plays. The organ is going to be moved, and I will show you that now. Now I'm going into the sacristy. There are two doors on either side of the altar, which lead into our sacristy. This is, again, part of the original building. And here is where we clean things and we keep our frontals and so forth. So we are going to have an addition coming off of the back of the church here that goes almost to that fence. And it's going to be a large addition that will accommodate a sacristy and a vestry. Going back into the sanctuary, it's quite distracting, actually, for parishioners and for clergy and servers to have these two doors on either side of the altar. So we are going to rectify that. The floor of the nave is actually, of the sanctuary, is actually going to go back further out beyond that wall, and part of that is going to be added area for the church. The organ is going to go back in that area, and there'll also be room on the other side for the piano and a small choir. Exiting the sacristy from the other side. Here is our pulpit. I'm planning on having a new pulpit built for the church. And over where the organ currently is, we are going to use our historic lectern that came to us from Prince of Peace Episcopal Church, which is the parish we came out of many years ago and which closed many years ago as well. This is a very exciting part. There's the entrance to the church, the old schoolhouse entrance I showed you earlier. That wall where the Stations of the Cross are is going to be taken out. It's going to actually go down to where the wainscoting begins. And we are going to have a chapel in that space, a proper lady chapel. Let's take a look. So this will be where the lady chapel is. This wall will come out to about here. So it will be a delineated space from the nave, but you will be able to see everything going on in the nave and in the church service on a Sunday service. So this will also function as additional seating, overflow seating for the church. This chapel will seat about 12 people. Over in that area that I'm pointing at will be an altar. That HVAC closet is going to come out, and we are going to get a different HVAC system here in the church. This exterior door is going to be sealed shut and will be a purely decorative feature. So there will be no entrance or exits from this door into the church. That's the original baptismal font from the parish that we came out of. We were lucky to receive that a number of years back from some friends at an Episcopal parish who had possession of it at the time. And there is the historic lectern from Prince of Peace Church. That lectern, that triangular shaped stand, is going to go into the church where the organ currently is. This cross once adorned the parish hall of the Episcopal Cathedral in Wilmington, Delaware. It was given to us, and we hope to use it on our new building. The ugly drop ceiling and the fluorescent lights will be removed. Ceiling height up there is probably about 10 or 15 feet, and there's beautiful wainscoting, and we're going to open that up and have a really gorgeous chapel here to use for liturgical services, holy day services, overflow seating, and the like. One of my major pet peeves about the church is that there is not enough natural lighting. That has to do with how we have the building oriented and how we use this space and how it's divided up. So what we're going to have in the building project is a large window here in the chapel that will complement the building architecturally. That will let in plenty of natural light. And then when we move the kitchens and bath, we will have two more windows. This one and this one to pour natural light into the church. So back to the reception area. Right here in this corner is going to be a large, beautiful main entrance to the church and the parish hall. It will have handicapped accessibility, and it will be clearly delineated as the entrance to the church. One of the problems that we've experienced over the years is that people don't know where to come in and where to go out because we don't have a clear entrance. This is going to solve that problem. Now, over here, behind those plans, which I will show you at some point, was the outside entrance to this portion of the parish hall that was added in the early 90s. That is no longer used. It's derelict. So that's going to be removed, and we will have a window there. This wall with the pocket doors is going to be cut back, greatly. We can't remove it because it is a load-bearing wall. And it's going to open up this space into the parish hall. And right about where that wall is where the new kitchen is going to be. There'll be a cut through, there'll be multiple entrances to it, and it's going to be very functional. Going back through the current vestry, right off of the end of the building is going to be another small addition, which is going to consist of office space, 2 offices, not 1, but 2 offices, and also an interior staircase going down to our undercroft. So we will finally be able to use the undercroft here at the church because it will have 2 entrances, an entrance and an exit. In this area, which is currently the office and the vestry, we are going to have restrooms. They will be, I believe it's 4 unisex restrooms, and it's going to look great. I will show you the plans that we have drawn up. So that's kind of it for the interior work that we have planned. We can't get started on the interior work until we do the exterior work. We have to have parking if we want to increase our seating. And when we add parking, we have to add stormwater management features with that. That's how it rolls here in Harford County, Maryland. So we need to get the exterior work done first before we can get this interior work done. So if you can give to our project, we would really appreciate it. No amount is too small, but of course we would like very large donations so we can get started on this. And the Lord has blessed us in this whole process. We have been trying to do this for years, and the church has never come this far before, and here we are. We are ready to go. So I will have more videos coming out about the project. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send them to me at the church. And you can donate to our church at our website, www.saintalbansjoppa.org. That's saint spelled out, SAINT. Go there, click on Give, and you can make an online donation, and you can designate it for our building project. Thank you, and God bless you.